Once in a while you get to a story that you really wish you didn't have to talk about, but this is a big one, and I think the community is going to be shaken by this for quite a bit. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. So a few days ago I posted a story where I talked about all of the new footage and videos and news reports of Uber and Lyft drivers getting attacked coming up. And it was made to be more of a general video, like it almost seems like a video you need to make once every year to kind of remind people this is not a safe job. This is very, very dangerous what you are doing. You are putting your lives in Uber and Lyft's hands every time you pick a passenger up. And it's just a shame. I mean, it's enough to really like make, if we didn't need the extra money, it'd be enough for me to like tell Katie, like, Katie, I think you should just stop driving for Uber right now. But, you know, unfortunately we need a little extra money. So she's out there doing her thing, saving for the wedding. And some people rely on it full time. They rely on it full time and they couldn't quit even if they wanted to right now. And then situations like this happen. A passenger stabbed his pregnant Lyft driver to death and stole her car, police say. There's nothing else to be said about that. That almost says it right there. I mean, of course we're gonna talk about it, but this is just a sad one. A pregnant Lyft driver in Arizona was stabbed to death by a passenger she had picked up during the weekend in the Phoenix area, authorities say. Tempe police, oh wow, Tempe, we're back there. Spokesperson Sergeant Ronald Elcock said the driver, 39-year-old Christina Hawato, was stabbed numerous times over her body early Sunday morning in Tempe. Hawato, who was in her third trimester of pregnancy, died along with her unborn child, she said. The passenger, who was identified by authorities as 20-year-old Fabian Durazo, has been arrested on 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of the driver and the unborn child. Quote, throughout our careers as officers, we have incidents that really, really touch our hearts and stay with you throughout your careers. This is definitely one of those incidents that really is going to affect the police department for a long time, and the community will think about this for a long time. Our hearts right now and our thoughts are with the victim of this incident. And that's bad enough. Like the fact that there was like a pregnant driver who was probably just trying to make a little extra money, preparing for when she wasn't going to be working when she gave birth to her new child, just doing it, and some guy decides to just kill her. Just stab her multiple times, kill her, take the car. And there's a part of this article that we'll get to later that suggests he had planned it from the get-go, like he planned to steal the car, and that's why he did it, which, you know, of course, why do you have to kill someone to steal a car? Just steal the car. All the cars have GPS in them anyway. Stealing cars is like a futile effort nowadays. But here's where I got especially pissed, and this is where I'm probably going to get very, very mad. It was not immediately clear whether Durazo has an attorney in the case. Now look at him. That guy deserves to rot in jail forever as far as I'm concerned. Lyft could not immediately be reached for comment Tuesday by the Washington Post, but said in a statement to CBS affiliate KTVK, quote, we were shocked and deeply saddened to learn of this tragedy, and our thoughts are with the family and friends of the victims. The safety of the Lyft community is our top priority. The passenger's account has been permanently deactivated, and we are actively assisting law enforcement with their investigation. And that's where it pisses me off, because no, Lyft, you know, I'm going to make some wild claims here. I totally am. But Lyft, I don't think you care about the drivers. I don't think you care about the driver community. I don't think any of these companies do. You want to know why? I'm going to bring up a story like this one. This one. Thrown to the wolves, the women who drive for Uber and Lyft. He made several unwanted advances. When I dropped him off, he told me that if I go to the right, it takes me out to the main street. But it wasn't a way out, it was a cul-de-sac. It's like, as I came back around, he was standing there with his pants down, holding himself. I'm very thankful he was not my car when he did this, but I was still traumatized. This is the story of Crystal Barajas, a 44-year-old single mother who picked this guy and, you know, was sharing her bad experience. Here's the thing. It's like, Mrs. Barajas got in touch with Uber immediately. A company representative said it would investigate, but Mrs. Barajas said she had never been told the result of her investigation and had been left wondering whether the man was free to book another Uber ride with other women in the future. They told me they could not tell me the outcome due to privacy issues. Now, granted, this story is about Uber. However, Uber and Lyft give the exact same response. Whenever there's a situation, a very serious allegation, they say, oh, we're going to look into it. The safety is our top concern, but we can't tell you what the outcome is. And we already know Uber and Lyft will not deactivate passengers for having too low of a grade. Granted, Uber drivers, they need to behave. If we get less than a 4.6, in some cases a 4.7, we are off. We are off the platform. We cannot drive because that is holding up to Uber and Lyft's big standards. But when it's a passenger, I have shared so many stories of passengers getting abused and beaten and assaulted and with unwanted comments made to them. In all those stories, Uber does not comment if well, okay, take it back. Uber and Lyft, if it's serious enough, they will say, oh, well, we have permanently deactivated the account. This is not acceptable, except if you look at the histories of the drivers, they had repeated histories of this. And they only suspended the account when news articles like this are written. Going over here. Safety of the Lyft community is our top priority, and yet it keeps happening. You won't let them carry firearms. You actually tell them that if they are caught carrying protection, they will suspend them. They actually make it in the policy that you can't defend yourself against scumbags like this. They write it in the policy that you can't do that. Doesn't sound like they care too much about the community there. The passenger's account has been permanently deactivated. Oh yeah, the guy's in jail and he's gonna go to jail for a very, very long time. You know, big whoop-de-doo. Thank you, Lyft, I guess. Like, boy, you're a stand-up model company. You deactivate his account after he killed someone. Like, what a great punishment. Tell me, when Crystal's driver, when he was making inappropriate comments towards her, did you deactivate his account? You don't make it very clear. Let's go down. Grabbed. Here's someone from Zuena Belt. She said, I had to report a passenger who grabbed me while I was driving. After ending the ride, I placed a call to Lyft's critical response team and the police while Lyft were on the line. They refused to share information with the officer on the scene. Oh, geez. That sounds like, you know, oh yeah, Lyft, the community is important to you. It is so important, we're not even going to talk to the cops, even though she is being sexually assaulted. Are you kidding me, Lyft? What's another one? I just wanted your number. Here's one. It's like one Uber driver in South Carolina told how she had been asked to contact a passenger about a lost item, only to get a text message back saying, hey Jane, the name has been changed. The name has been changed, yeah. I didn't really lose anything in your car, I just wanted your number. And attached was a video of I'm not gonna say that word. I rejected the guy on Facebook and he gave me a low rating. After a similar scenario happened 3 times, I just deactivated my account. And you know what? This one actually especially pisses me off. You want to know why? I'm going to share a story with Katie because Katie does drive Lyft and Uber and she is a sweetheart. Those of you who have met her in person say, Kevin, you are a very lucky guy. And if you have ever had a ride by Katie, you know that she is nice, she plays great music, and she is fun. And I don't know what she sees in me. I don't, but I am so blessed that she is going to be my wife. One time, she picked up a guy. And he was hitting on her. And this is understandable because she's very attractive and she's very nice. Heck, if I didn't know any better, I would ask her out. In fact, one time, I'm going to actually, let me see. So anyway, he's talking to her and she's talking to him. And he asks for her number. And she politely tells him, oh, I appreciate that, but I'm actually dating someone. Now she's engaged, so now she can show the ring if she wants. And but thank you for asking. He immediately stopped being nice, and while he did not get aggressive, after the ride was over, he gave her 1 star, flagged her for rudeness, and said she was saying inappropriate things. You know what? Dudes, sometimes a girl says no. I mean, there was one time, and I feel very bad about this, where I was standing in line at a grocery store checkout line. I was talking to a girl. This was before I met Katie, obviously, like a few years before I met Katie. And she was really nice, and I said, hey, would you like to get coffee sometime? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she pointed to her ring. I'm married. And I said, oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I did not see that. I only asked because I thought you were cool. I did not mean, like, and I apologize. And interestingly, we're actually still friends. Like, I actually became friends with her and her husband, and, because it was a simple misunderstanding. But when they say no, you walk away. And yet the Uber and Lyft passengers feel so entitled to these things. And they punish the female drivers when they don't get their way. And Uber and Lyft don't do anything. I mean, look at it. We have 3 examples. Guy shows his, junk. He gave her directions. They would not comment whether he was deactivated. This woman is grabbed. They would not talk to the police. Clearly didn't deactivate. And then you have this person. She was being hit on. And let's look at this last one. I didn't mean for this to get off of the main topic. We'll get back to it, I promise. But sometimes an unwanted contact after a ride can go further. Wendy Gonzalez, who lived near Los Angeles, showed BBC News footage from her home security camera. It showed 2 men turning up at her door to retrieve a phone they believe they had left in the back of her car the previous night. The door is not even locked, said one of the men. Hello, good morning, anybody home? It's unclear how the men found out where Miss Gonzalez lived. An Uber support agent probably told her it'd been through a third-party tracking app, perhaps Apple's Find My iPhone. In all fairness, that could be a thing. But Miss Gonzalez's car was not parked directly outside her house. Okay, yeah, now that's suspicious. Quote, my phone is actually still inside your vehicle, and I was hoping to get it back now. And here's the thing. What's Uber's response? We evaluate all complaints and safety concerns to thoroughly remove users from the system when we see clear evidence and patterns of unsafe behaviors. However, in accordance with our privacy policy, we can't share the specific results of our evaluation process. And she added, I didn't drive much after that. Yeah, well, why would you? There's so many stories in this article, like, we can't go through all of them. But why am I talking about all of these stories? Because when you say the safety of the Lyft community is our top priority, the passengers are counted, permanently activated, we don't care. It's clearly not anyone's, it is not your top priority. And you only deactivate when the story gets big enough where to not deactivate would basically be the worst thing in the world. It would just make you look even worse than you already do. So, you know what? Let's finish this up. Hawata was rushed to the hospital where she and her unborn baby were pronounced dead. Here's the other... Oh, by the way, here's another thing. When she left the vehicle... Oh, where does it say that? Well, anyway, apparently when she got out of the vehicle, he continued to attack her in one of... I don't know if it was in this article. Although the motive is unclear, they believe they had already planned the attack when he called for the car. It's also unclear where he was going when police caught up to him, the police said, but they noted Durrezo has family in California. And here's an even worse part. Police said Hawato had 2 children, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, who are in the custody of family members. Well, great, you scumbag, and great Lyft. I'm sure he did something. You could have deactivated him long before this happened, but you don't care. Uber doesn't care. None of them care. Grab a weapon, get some protection, avoid certain hours if you're a female. I'm sorry to say, I know that, that means you're going to be getting out of like the surge and some really good prime time, but you know what? There's certain times you just can't drive. I'm sorry to say. And protect yourself. And I don't know. When's their day of reckoning coming? I just do not know. Anyway, we're going to end that story. Comment below, flame responsibly. Stay safe out there.